When you encounter an aggressive driver, you should A. Give them space and not engage. B. Not allow them to pass. C. Speed up. D. Honk at them. When you encounter an aggressive driver, you should A. Give them space and not engage. If you encounter an aggressive driver, it is important to know how to handle the situation safely. The best thing to do is to allow them to pass, get out of their way, and give them space. In no circumstances should you try to interact or engage with an aggressive driver, be it verbally, with a hand gesture, or your horn. These actions will typically make the situation worse. Do you have to stop at a green light when turning right? A. No, but you must always slow down to 10 miles per hour. B. Yes, if there are vehicles turning left. C. No, you never need to stop when the light is green. D. Yes, if there are pedestrians or other vehicles still in the intersection. Do you have to stop at a green light when turning right? D. Yes, if there are pedestrians or other vehicles still in the intersection. When you have a green light at an intersection where you plan to turn right, you only need to stop if there are pedestrians crossing the street or if there are other vehicles still in the intersection. Otherwise, you may proceed with your right turn without stopping when the light is green. Roads freeze more quickly when they are A. In the shade. B. In the sun. C. Heavily trafficked. D. Winding roads. Roads freeze more quickly when they are A. In the shade. If it is wet and the air temperature is cold, the areas of the road that typically freeze first are areas that are shaded by trees, buildings, hills, or other things. Shaded areas will get colder faster and stay colder longer, which allows the roads to freeze and remain frozen. Even on a sunny day, shaded areas can still hide icy spots when the air is cold. Use extra caution when approaching potentially icy areas. The best way to deal with a tailgater is to A. Speed up. B. Slow down and allow them to pass. C. Slam on your brakes. D. Honk your horn. The best way to deal with a tailgater is to B. Slow down and allow them to pass. Most rear-end collisions are the result of a vehicle following too closely. If you have a tailgater behind you, you should not speed up. This will only cause you to have a vehicle following you too closely at a higher speed, which can make the situation more dangerous. The best thing to do is to slow down and allow them to pass. At intersections, look to the where first. A. Right. B. Left. C. Rear. D. Horizon. At intersections, look to the B. Left first. Intersections are some of the most common places where accidents can occur. This is why it's important to not only scan the road as you drive, but to make the proper visual checks when preparing to cross an intersection. The reason you look left first and left again after looking right is because vehicles on the left will be closer than vehicles coming from the right. In other words, you'll have more time to react to a vehicle on the right than you would a vehicle coming from the left. Which of the following responses is appropriate when approaching a steady yellow traffic signal? A. Slow down and stop, unless you are already in the intersection. B. Slow down and stop, always. C. Continue through the intersection carefully, always. D. Speed up to get through the intersection. Which of the following responses is appropriate when approaching a steady yellow traffic signal? A. Slow down and stop, unless you are already in the intersection. A yellow traffic light communicates that drivers should use caution because the light is about to change to red. If you see a yellow light as you approach an intersection, you should slow down and come to a stop if it is safe to do so. However, if you are already in the intersection or entering the intersection as the light changes to yellow, you should proceed through the intersection carefully. If you are going 55 miles per hour, you will need more than how many feet to safely pass another vehicle? A. 1,600 feet. B. 800 feet. circa 400 feet. D. 200 feet. If you are going 55 miles per hour, you will need more than a 1,600 feet to safely pass another vehicle. At highway speeds of 55 miles per hour, you will travel approximately 800 feet every 10 to 12 sections. This means that you'll need at least twice that distance, or about 1,600 feet, to pass another vehicle safely. When making a pass on a two-lane highway with traffic moving in opposite directions, you'll also need to take into account oncoming traffic. The speed limit for a blind intersection is A. 10 miles per hour, B. 15 miles per hour, C. 20 miles per hour, D. 25 miles per hour. The speed limit for a blind intersection is B. 15 miles per hour. A blind intersection describes an intersection that is not controlled by stop signs and you cannot see for 100 feet in either direction as you approach the intersection. It is important to slow down to a safe speed so that you're able to see any oncoming vehicles, pedestrians, or bicycles entering the intersection. Slow down to at least 15 miles per hour and come to a stop if necessary to make sure the way is clear and it is safe for you to proceed. Is it illegal to pass on the right? A. Yes, if the vehicle you are passing is turning left. B. Yes, if you need to use the shoulder to pass the other vehicle. C. Yes, all the time. D. Yes, if the vehicle you are passing is a large truck. Is it illegal to pass on the right? B. Yes, if you need to use the shoulder to pass the other vehicle. It is always illegal to use the shoulder or drive off the roadway to pass another vehicle. However, passing on the right is not completely illegal as a rule. What is a good minimum following distance? A. 1 second. B. 2 seconds. C. 3 seconds. D. 10 seconds. What is a good minimum following distance? C. 3 seconds. The following distance describes the gap between your car and the car in front of you. Under ideal driving conditions, a good minimum following distance to employ is the 3-second rule. Some may recommend a 2-second following distance. That means there is at least a 3-second gap between the front of your car and the rear of the car in front of you. In good conditions, this gives you enough space to adjust, maneuver, and react to potential hazards ahead. Great job! Here are some of your next steps to getting your learner's permit or driver's license. Read and study the official driver handbook from your state DMV. Take more free practice tests at puedomanejar.com. Gather all your necessary forms and documents before you visit the DMV office. Before you know it, you'll be driving in your very own car all by yourself. puedomanejar.com. Free DMV practice tests and much more to help you pass your real exams. Visit us today.